Hey, Diesel Dan here. I want to make a video kind of adding on to some of the other ones I have up about the industry, mechanics, and why a lot of the people seem to be getting out lately. I'm seeing a lot of the videos about, quitting and everything else, hanging up the wrenches, whatever you want to call it. I can kind of understand where they're coming from, because I'm just about there myself. It's a shame. I enjoyed my career for the most part. I'm sure a lot of us that got it in the beginning really liked what we did, and things that are going on with upper management in the industry and the changes and stuff just kind of left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And that's what brought us here to where we're at today, in the predicament that we're in with the shortage, the quality of mechanics out there. I just want to put out there, I'm not here to beat up on anybody. I'm not perfect by any shape or form, but the quality of repairs I've been getting from even the dealership level have just been absolutely horrible. I actually stopped using a certain dealer because of the bad work that they were doing. Had a few issues. They fixed the first two. The third one, I just had enough. So I do not use them anymore. We had trailers out of town over the past couple weeks, and we needed road service to come out. One was a level and valve rod broke, and another was a brakes weren't releasing or something. And the level and valve, the repair they did was pretty crappy as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna see if I can bring up the picture of it. And I totally understand there's things you do to get your unit back to the yard, but this is what they're doing for full-time repairs, and it's really, really getting out of hand. I mean, I had to repair this again once it got back. I didn't want to leave it this way, because if anybody knows, a level and valve, you can't completely tighten the bolts because of, the rod has to pivot. And this is the repair that they did to our trailer, and that strap was not like that when it came back. It was all bent out of shape. That's those kind of straps that you get to strap up pipes in your house or something like that. That's what they did, and charged us a lot of money to do it. Then they claimed to need brakes. I think they sold us on a brake job on one of the wheels or something. And that seems to be what's going on lately, because a couple days ago, a trailer, we were having issues with the brakes, and he tried to sell us a brake job. He actually beat the inside of the drum and the brake shoe up with a hammer, and cracked the shoes and everything else. The shoes weren't even that old. It's a trailer that normally comes in and out of here pretty often, and I did do brakes and chambers and an air tank on it probably about 4 or 5 months tops back. So I know the stuff was new, and they're just trying to sell what they could sell while they're out there, and it's getting pretty bad. But back to the industry and my career. I'm at the end of my roads. I'm here on borrowed time at this point. I did have a recruiter call me last week. It seems like these companies are so desperate. This recruiter got my information off of a website that I haven't used probably in about 10 years. And he called me to get my updated information and asked me if I was interested in another job. I said I'm always willing to hear what's out there. If it's a better deal, I would be interested. And then I went down and proceeded to tell him the things that I'm looking for. And he was just, I don't know if I can get that. I said, well, then have a nice day. I don't know what to tell you. I told him the pay rate I wanted, the hours I wanted to work, and stuff like that. And, you know, these companies don't want to pay it. And that's fine. If you don't want to pay it, you're going to get what you get. If you just want bodies, you're going to get just bodies. You know, this is an industry where you have to have a lot of skill set. You know, it's not like the carpentry business and stuff where you have electrician, plumbers, and stuff like that. Everybody does a specific thing. Mechanics have to do it all. We have to be engine guys, transmission guys, suspension guys, electrical guys, air conditioning guys. We have to do it all. And you can't produce this kind of skill set overnight. This stuff takes experience and training. And that's why I think we're coming to a lot of trouble ahead, because you can't replace these people this fast. You can't train them fast enough. For the skill set that these companies are looking for, takes time to produce these people. And I'm sure they have some answers up their sleeve, but they're not going to work. I know what they are. I don't want to get into the argument because I'll probably get all beat up in the comments, but you know, they're going to push people in this. They should have no business in it. And what's going to happen is people are going to get hurt, and the customer at the end is going to have to pay the price for it. And hopefully I'm not around when that happens, but that's what's coming. You know, nobody cares anymore. Nobody wants to do manual labor. Nobody wants to get dirty. Everybody wants $200,000 a year to sit in an air-conditioned office. And it's just not the world we live in. And I keep hearing that, you know, the trades are where it is. You know, I've always made fairly decent money over my career, but, you know, I wasn't rich by any means. I worked very hard for my money, and now looking back now, it was not worth the effort at all. If I had to do this all over again, I would not be in this industry. There were other jobs out there getting paid a lot more to me to do a lot less work. And that's where I would have gone. So I'm getting a little irritated with seeing all these videos on how, you know, the tradespeople are making out, we're making all the money, but no, we're not. They're stringing us along just like they're stringing everybody else along. And I would recommend anybody getting into this in the beginning to run as fast as you can. But if you are in this industry, there's going to be times where you're making good money. Make good financial decisions on your money. Get prepared for the future. This living YOLO every day, all this other crap is all well and good. But if you do end up living 80, 90 years old, you don't want to be working at a fast food restaurant making minimum wage. You want to retire at some point. I did the same thing. I got in the game. I lived week to week for most of my career, pretty much till after my divorce. Got financially crushed because of that. And if anybody out there is going through that, I feel for you. There is light at the end of the tunnel, even though you feel like it's not. I've been there. I know exactly what you're going through. It took me a couple years to climb out of that financial hole. But I'm out of it now, and I am doing very well financially now. You have to start looking at money differently. You have to start spending money differently. And I know it's tough. It's a change, but if you want to live the life you want to live, you got to make the hard decisions. You know? I invested in certain things. You know, I'm stacking a lot of money in retirement. I do have the stock market thing I do separately, and I do have some real estate assets that I'm working on getting some more. But I have a few now that's pretty much paying for itself. So I'm already building up equity in a bunch of them. So, I mean, the only way I can go is up. And I know it seems like it's way out of reach for a lot of people. I would have said the same thing 5-6 years ago. But now here I am. I do have a dealer that is very interested in me because I am CNG certified for engine repair and fuel inspector. So they got a big contract to do a bunch of CNG installs. So they're interested in me for that. It's a 4-day work week. I'm very interested in doing that again. So I do have to get with them and actually sit down and discuss the details. But we've been going back and forth a little bit here and there. They are a vendor of mine. So it is a little touchy situation because they don't want to seem like they're stealing guys. So that may be where I'll be going at some point. Just got to weigh all the pros and cons here. Again, where I'm at here is not horrible. There are things I wish were a little different. The benefits I wish were a little better. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of videos of people quitting, and I kind of understand where they're coming from. And I know in the beginning it's different in the beginning because you still have the passion for it, most of us. But then once you start buying the tools and the box and so on, you feel like you're just trapped in it. It's not horrible if you get in a decent place. The only problem with that is there are not a whole lot of decent places left. Like I said previous, I moved around for various reasons and worked at a few different places along the way. Got to learn a lot. That's what really gave me all the experience that I have working on different stuff with different people in different environments. When you only work in one environment on one certain equipment for most of your career, that's pretty much all you know. No shade to that, but you know, you get to where you don't want to work on anything else. I know because I did the same thing early on. I worked on a certain equipment, certain engine, and that's all I wanted to work on. If anybody asked me to look at something outside of work that wasn't that make or model or engine, I wouldn't do it. I was just comfortable, and that's what I wanted to be. And I get it. If you're happy with that, that's cool. Same thing with side work at the house. Like I said, I still get asked a lot. I politely say no. People are getting really upset about it because, you know, everybody's trying to save money, and I get that, but I don't want to deal with the headaches anymore. You know, everybody wants the mechanic to take the hit, and I'm not doing that. You know, just recently I had a driver ask me to go look at a car with him, and I kind of got out of it because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to look at this car, and yeah, it doesn't look bad. I mean, it's not horrible. But then he'll buy it, and then a couple weeks later he'll be screaming at me when it breaks down. You said it was good. Well, I can't give you a lifetime warranty by looking at a used car. Yes, it looked good at the time. I don't know the history of this vehicle. I don't know what he did or what he didn't do, what he's trying to hide. You don't know any of this stuff. And the car market is just insane right now with used cars. I mean, you got people $3-4 grand for stuff that needs engines. It's insane right now. Which means people are going to hold on to their stuff longer and longer, which means it's going to cost more to fix them. And these shops aren't getting any cheaper. They're running into the manpower issues also. So all they're doing is charging up. But it's not getting back to the mechanics. I don't see the pay rates going up that much. You know, you want the people to do the work, you want it to do it right and properly, but you don't want to pay for it at this point. And that's what we're going to stand on. The mechanics are going to stand on this angle, and you can offer this and offer that, but at the end of the day, if we can't support our lifestyles, we're not interested anymore. You know, most of the jobs that I see online, you can make the same amount of money working at a warehouse, driving a forklift, and all you basically have to do is show up every day. You don't have to worry about the check engine light coming back 3 days later because something you missed or didn't miss, or parts failure, or people screaming and everything else. People don't want to deal with this anymore. You know, this after treatment thing, the promise they sold us when this after treatment stuff showed up back in the late 2000s is, oh, better fuel mileage, reliability, this, that. Dude, everything shit the bed on this. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to over-the-road vehicles. It's been nothing but a thorn in our side since they started putting them on. It's gotten worse and worse, and it's not going to get any better. These manufacturers don't care. Once they sell the product, they really don't care anymore. You know, and that's where we're at. And then we're stuck with, you know, cleaning up the mess. I see the owner-operators. I'm constantly getting asked to work on after-treatment stuff, and no, I'm not doing it. I will not sign my name off on a side job on anything after treatment. But that could go down the road for something that had nothing to do with I did, and it'll throw a light on for something. And no, nobody wants to deal with that. It's not like doing a brake job. You do the brake job and then it's done. It's down the road and on your way. So this is the world we're in right now. The craziness going on in the country and everything else. I really like to see how the end of the year plays out. 2024 is already starting off to be a little crazy. And I know people are struggling out there. Everybody has their own issues they're dealing with. Fortunately, I'm not in any bad predicament. I'm actually doing fairly well right now. But I know a lot of people aren't. And it's a shame because I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to try to take advantage of people. I'm seeing it on cars, trucks, everywhere. I just recently seen a couple videos online where they said they changed the carrier bearing and U-joints and stuff on a tractor trailer and they didn't. And the mechanic made a video on how he has to tell the customer that it all has to be redone again. And it's sad that this is the world we live in now, but you really can't trust anybody. The road service situation, especially with me, I mean, this has been ongoing for a while. Anytime anything gets road service, I usually bring it in as soon as it gets back here because the quality of repairs have gotten so bad, it's bad. But they don't care. We just recently got charged $1,700 for a service to go out and park regen the vehicle 3 times, and he pulled up 15 feet and it went back into D-rate 5 miles an hour. It was a broken wire at the doser valve, so him regenning it did absolutely nothing. So I don't know how he didn't see that. I don't know what equipment he was using. It was out of state. I don't know all the details, but we got charged $1,700 for that and still had to pay to tow it back home for me to fix it. I know that's what we're up against. Sometimes you don't have any options. You got to get someone out there to look at it at least and try to do something, but that's just ridiculous at this point. Towing is getting way out of control. We have a local place that we deal with that does pretty well with us, charges very fairly, but I know the towing can get way out of hand with the pricing. And I mean, what are you going to do? But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. Like I said, I mean, this video is not me just actually quitting, but I'm actually looking to end my career within the next couple years. I got a couple more pieces to put in my puzzle, and you know, if I end up moving on to the dealer, I may ride that out as long as I possibly can. But fleet maintenance is not on my radar long term. kind of done with it. You plateau at a certain pay rate, and that's pretty much where you're going to be. You know, they want us older guys with the skill set, but they don't want to pay. And at some point, I'll age out. There'll be a point where they won't touch me just because of my age. And I get it when you look at a managerial standpoint. You know, the older they get, the less you're going to get out of them. I get all that, but you know, like I mentioned before in videos, I worked with a lot of older gentlemen back in the day that just had the knowledge, and that's basically what they were there for. You know, they put in a decent day's worth of work, but the knowledge they were spreading was worth their weight in gold. And you don't see that anymore. The younger people just don't seem to care to absorb anything. They'd rather just get back to their toolbox and, you know, get back on their phone. And, you know, they're too busy worried about what they're going to do on their days off, which is fine. But it's going to limit to where you're going to go in this career. You know, you're missing out on a lot. Eventually all these older wrenches are going to be gone, and there's going to be no one to look up to, no one to ask for advice. And that's where the poor quality workmanship is coming from, I believe. There's no mentorship anymore. And at this point, it's too late in the game. There's no quick fix. I have no idea what their actual game plan is to fix this, because there is no quick, easy solution at this point. But yeah, I want to start posting some more videos. Sorry about the not putting anything up recently. Just been doing some trailer GPSs and some minor work. Nothing interesting. The company is moving some trucks around, so I may be seeing a new one soon. Might be getting some other older ones, I don't know. So I'm sure something will be coming up soon, so stay tuned, and I'll post stuff as soon as it comes up. Alright, to the next one. Thanks.